Good morning. How are we?
Morning, how are you?
Good, thank you. All good, thank you. Yeah, not too
Sorry, I
bad.
was late.
All right. Okay.
Late for work.
Late for work. Right, you just have to stay a bit later at the end of the day, that's all.
All right, okay. I will. I've got my cup of tea though.
That's all right then.
How you been?
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. I had a busy weekend, but yeah, we had the first IFCS squad skills day on Saturday. And then we did
And how
our
did that go?
really good. Yeah, really, really good. Really well organized, actually, sort of proper running orders and schedules and different drills set up at different times and stuff. Yeah, it was really good.
And where was it held, Stuart?
Is it Hartley Wood in Bristol?
Okay.
Yeah,
Gosh,
yeah,
that's miles away.
yeah, miles and miles away. Yeah, about 2 hours. About 2 hours from my house. Yeah, 2 hours from my house.
I think that would be about 4.5 from mine.
Yeah, but I suppose it's a choice you make, isn't it? If you want to do something, you'll put the miles in. I think.
Yeah.
Depends on how important it is to you, isn't it? I think that's the thing of it.
I think as well though that financially this day and age, I mean, I've noticed it with recreational, so my pet dog classes are really filling and always filling because people feel like they have to train.
Yeah.
Whereas from an agility point of view, people might now, where they were doing a private every week, they might now only do one a month or so.
Yeah.
And I've dropped my PT off and I'm trying to do it myself. So, from a recreational point of view, that's where the recession is hitting, isn't it?
Yeah, like I say, it's choices, isn't it? You've got to make a choice of what's important for you to spend your money and time on, I suppose. Even more so now. And agility, I think, is taking a hit. I think it was already taking a hit before because I think things are spread out quite thinly anyway, already. And then obviously now prices are going up, venues, equipment and all that sort of stuff. So even from a training point of view, prices are going up because we have to rent venues and
yeah, I'm resisting it. I must admit, my
yeah.
venue holders have been really lovely. They've not put the prices up, so I'm resisting it.
Yeah, I've held my prices for a while, so I'm not trying not
yeah.
to anyway. I don't want to if I don't have to, but
No.
but people, people will spend their money and travel to where they need to whenever they want. I think
it's a hard choice, isn't it? Because when you're chasing, I don't know, maybe the ABC points or Discover Dog Pairs and you've got a final in one part of the country and you've got other events in other parts of the country, as you say, it's hard and you've got to go with your gut and what's important for you, haven't you?
Yeah, absolutely. And also I think you've got to move with, sometimes things happen, venues change, locations change and stuff like that, so it might change your plan anyway.
There was 153 comments on the UKA the last time I looked.
Yeah, I looked at that. Yeah,
most of them were positive, weren't they?
Yeah, it was an even. I think it was a relatively even balance. I think for me, what I looked at it, there was quite a few that are obviously disappointed that the grand finals has changed. I know the also the date as well, which is a bit of a pain. That is a bit of a pain changing the date for this year for 2000.
Yeah, they've obviously got a reason that they've had.
But yeah, I mean, I suppose they've only just recently taken over from Greg anyway, so they've had to obviously things are going to.
It'll be interesting to see what effect it has on shows down my way. So obviously I'm in Essex, and somebody had put and this isn't about UK, we just ended up talking about it, but somebody had put a comment that they were down south and they couldn't justify putting on a show for UKA because they didn't think people would travel, so it would have to be a qualifier show to make their money in a way. But people wouldn't necessarily travel to their show for qualifiers that were perhaps to be honest with you, I've not worked it out. I think it's only 3 hours. I say only 3 hours 40.
Yeah.
Still quite a long way, but then I would travel to Gloucester and Cheltenham and that sort of way, so depending on what it was for, and so they didn't feel that they could take up the reins and maybe take on a show in this part of the country. And I wonder how much that affects kind of ABCs and novice and
I mean, it's the same, isn't it? you take, if you take the UKA Grand Finals, you take Olympia, you take Crufts, whatever that is. I mean, Crufts used to be down at Earl's Court in London, didn't it?
Yes.
And then it moved to Birmingham.
Well, it's like Excel as well. The new Olympia is now in Excel. Wow. Yeah. I mean, that's like 40 minutes from me.
Yeah. So, but people will, if it's something that you desperately want or you really want, then you'll move or you'll go to wherever it is. And
I guess that you'll take a hit in your life somewhere else.
Yeah. Wherever a venue is for whatever event, somebody will be 8 hours away and somebody will be half an hour away. Whatever.
Yes, yeah. And we know that you can't babysit everybody and you're not going to keep everybody happy, etc.
So that's the same as, say, like having Olympia qualify. Why are they having Olympia qualifiers in Scotland?
Yeah, I guess.
Olympia's 10 hours away.
And bless them, the Scottish crew always go down, don't they?
Yeah, exactly. So, and Northern Ireland, they come across as well. They've got their qualifiers and stuff for Crufts and Olympia and whatever. So they're willing to do that, which is absolutely fine, and that's what people want to do. So I can sort of understand, obviously, if somebody not wanting to put a show down in sort of Essex for the UKA Grand Finals, but that's like saying.
But then I think we're shooting them down. I think we need to be a little bit careful because they have said on their announcement that they've got some big announcements coming up in the next couple of weeks.
I think, you've got to
exciting. Maybe they're going to make
change. Sometimes things have to change a little bit, and some people won't like it. Some people will.
They do. But I think it's hard. I think I'm going to drop them a message actually and see if they'll come on and have a chat with us, because maybe once they've done all of their announcements, because I think it's hard because the whole agility community, if you like, is looking at them to see what they're going to do.
And any change that happens in agility in general is first frowned upon, isn't it? Straight away.
I think that's in life, is it not?
Yeah.
People just are resistant.
As soon as somebody changes something that we've done for the last 10 or 15, 20 years, everybody's like, oh, I can't do it, we can't do that, we can't do that. But then after, and then it's almost like moving to a new area, isn't it? It takes you 10 years to become a local or 20 years to become a local.
Well, yeah, I must admit, I've kind of struggled moving into a new area myself, because you feel quite isolated, and you feel. And then you get quite personal about it, like people are isolating you because they don't like you, and all that sort of thing goes on in your head sometimes.
We've done something the same. Agility is a big thing. We do something the same for year in, year out. We go to the same shows, same weekend. The diary is already planned. Like, we know our diary almost, apart from the odd one. We almost know what shows are every weekend, every year for the last 15, 20 years. We've just gone, it's that weekend. Do you know what I really like? I've seen Colchester was one that I can remember, and there was another one as well that have popped back up after COVID. So they didn't do last year because it was so soon after COVID, and now they've done this year. And I think that's really good, especially Colchester for me is like 10 minutes away. Yeah. But that's the thing, isn't it? Like
I've got a kennel club show.
A kennel club show 10 minutes down the road. But then somebody else might want to travel 4 or 5 hours to get to that show.
Yes,
exactly. Or they might have to, or want to, or whatever. So I think we just need to be. I think we need to be a little bit more accepting sometimes of change, things happening,
and realise that people. Although I think every comment I saw was polite. Which I was really happy about. People. But I think people, going off piste again here, most over the last few months, I've not seen any keyboard worrying. I've not seen anybody really have a good sleeping. So that definitely seems to be getting much better. And all the comments on the UKA one were very polite. Not everybody was happy, but like you say, you can't keep everybody happy. And we've lost a UKA show quite local to me as well, and that's sad, but obviously they've had to make their own personal decisions. And I think what we have to realise is show organisers and the entertainment industry took a massive hit during COVID, and some people may not even have the energy to go about and put another show on.
I mean, that's the thing. I mean, we've done a little bit the same. I mean, we'll go off a little bit with talk about, like, we've just started some UK Hooper shows local to us. We're getting involved with those. And the first one we did, we had like 20 people turn up.
Right.
Because no, it's new, and it's not, nobody knows about it and that sort of stuff. But we're just going to plug away at it and keep going, and hopefully people will start to see what it is. But it's one of those, like, when you're setting up an event or whatever, you just have to accept the fact that not everybody's going to be there. Accept that some people.
And you're never going to keep everybody happy, are you?
Yeah. I mean, Cheltenham for us it's 40 minutes down the road. It's perfect venue, etc., etc. But for some people, even like the diehard, clients or customers, whatever, they might go, wow, it's way too far for me to go.
Yeah, I mean, I would consider myself a diehard. In previous years, I've really kind of like traveled around and enjoy traveling. It's part and take a sacrifice in parts of the other part of my life so that I can. And I will be supporting UKA the best I possibly can, just basically because I think it's good for a new dog. But and there's not many summer independents around, which I want to bring a new dog into. Winter ones I've got, but not summer ones. So it's personal choice, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, we run a UKA show. We've got our Christmas show coming up in a few weeks' time in December.
I used to love your summer shows.
Yeah, I mean, that's the other thing, but things just took over. Events happened and things changed, and we just stopped doing them for whatever reason. I don't think there was a sudden we're not doing it. It was just we got to a point where we'd exhausted ourselves, I suppose, and exhausted what we thought we could at that point. But we've never, it's hard to run those events when there's so many other events going on. I think that's the main problem. To find acceptable venues, and then also equipment suppliers
and affordable venues as well, I guess.
Yeah, especially now. I think the venues are, the prices are going to go up dramatically on venues, I think, over the next year or so.
Do we think that?
Yeah, because of energy, really, electric, heating, all that sort of stuff's going to go up. Fuel, so people have to get their equipment there, and imagine equipment suppliers now, they're going to transport their equipment to somewhere, so their fuel costs are going to go up and stuff. So I think it's going to be tough the next couple of years.
And then of course that has a knock-on effect right down to the competitors, doesn't it? It's like, well, actually, I can't go to that show this time because of the journey, so I'm going to go to this show, or actually I'm going to spend a weekend at home. I will definitely, I mean, I did that coming out of COVID anyway. I enjoyed spending a few more weekends at home. But I think the price of fuel, I've noticed it creeping up. I don't want to make it like
I have noticed that as well.
It's creeping up again. It's like, why is it creeping up again?
I noticed that as well the other day. I put some fuel in the van. I was like, hang on a minute, that's already in the space of a day or so it's gone up by 2 or 3 pence, and I was like, how did that happen? It's like, I think it's going to be that way for the next couple of years at least, I think.
Exactly that. So what have you got coming up then? What's new coming up?
Obviously we've got our Christmas event. We're going to get that out of the way, get Christmas out of the way and whatever, but I'm just looking.
Have you got any events yourself?
Sorry,
have you got any events yourself?
I'm looking at, hopefully next year I'm going to look at the Olympia qualifiers for next year. So I'm looking through the diary for all the sort of Olympia stuff for next year, and maybe the Crufts singles as well. I might look at that.
I've never chased that.
Haven't made my mind up properly, but Olympia is one I've sort of
I can't believe I'm there again this year. That's a real shocker. You look at the lineup and it was like, wow, that's amazing. There's some really good names there this year, and it's like guys scraping there in 10th place. It's like,
you'll be all right. You got in there. It's all clean sheet when you get there, isn't it?
I know. I've got Tunbridge the week before. Whereas last year I didn't do, when I was going to Olympia, I didn't do Tunbridge on purpose. This year I feel we've not had as many shows as we should do, so it's kind of going to be a little bit of preparation for me.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Although I seem to have lost a start line weight, Stuart.
Oh no.
He actually took the first jump. I'm like,
oh no.
What are you doing to me, Kippy? Like,
oh, no.
Stuart, I have something to say about that.
Yeah. Well, you know what to do. You know what to do. You can get it fixed before then it'll be fine.
Can I not just pick him up and drop kick him? Because I get infuriated when he does it and he thinks it's funny.
That's it.
Yeah. And I'm like, oh, Kippy, come on. At least I like it at Olympia because I can set him up like 20 foot back from the first jump and he doesn't even know that he's been set up. So
you can always get away with it there. So Olympia, and then we've got obviously I'm going to do the IMCA tryouts hopefully when they're announced and stuff. So I want to do
because that's in the UK next year, isn't it?
No, IFCS is UK next year.
Oh, okay.
Which is the one we've already qualified for anyway.
Yeah.
So that's a bonus for us really. And then IMCA, I think
April, isn't it?
Yeah, and the tryouts are in April, and I think it's Holland.
Okay. Yes, I think
August,
you're right.
I think
right.
So not a million miles away. So
I'm a bit nervous about trying out this year because I've tried out for that twice now. Or no, I tried out for IMCA and IFCS, got on the team twice, and for one reason or another have not travelled. So it's like a bit of a bogey.
Well, it might be worth going back up there, especially it should be a good thing, I think.
And we've got the PSQ coming up in February as well. I've got the PSQ.
Okay, yeah.
That'd qualifying for Olympia. No, that was being in the Olympia semis, isn't it?
Yeah, so that's good.
Yeah. I've got lots of good stuff coming up. So
yeah. And then, like I say, just going through the diary and see what's going on, what's moved and what's still on and what's not on, and pick and choose what we need to choose. Might involve a few more actual UKA shows, not simply because they've changed, but from a training point of view, I think I need to get in and do. From a games point of view, I need to practice some games.
I love games. Can we start a petition to bring them back into Kennel Club?
Yeah, I think it should be some special classes at Kennel Club somewhere. People have a heart attack.
Yeah.
You can't change that. I have to do that. UKA, just from a bit of games practice, I think, and just get a bit of feel back into what we're doing. And they're localish again for us, most of them.
Yeah.
It's nice, but that's my plans for next year. I'm really just the Olympia really I'm going to look at and concentrate on getting ready for IFCS in August, which seems miles and miles away.
We're on the shortest day of the year count, aren't we? It's the 21st of November today. We've got 1 month.
1 month, and then we're back on track.
And then
to get
back on track, absolutely.
Get Christmas out of the way. So
excellent.
Perfect. Right,
good.
cool.
All right, my lovely. It's
good catching up.
Yeah. Speak to you soon.
Speak to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.